transparent switch is a switch in which the stations are completely unaware of the switch's existence, right? So in stations, station is nothing but base stations are in the local area, number of local area networks, right? So stations are completely in transparent switches. Stations means local area network are completely unaware of the switch's existence. That is called as a transparent switch, right? Transparent switch will not come, will means a number of local area network will not come to know whether the switch is present or not. If a switch is added or deleted from the system, reconfiguration of the station is not unnecessary, right? For example, if a system damages while network sending and transmitting the data packet, it is not necessary to reconfiguration of the stations, mean number of stations which will be connecting for number of host. According to the IEEE 802.1d, this is switch standard specifications. A system equipped with transparent switches must meet three criteria. Which are the three criteria? Let us discuss. Frame must be forwarded from one station to another, right? As we know that frame is nothing but data or information must be forwarded from one station to another station. The forwarding table is automatically made by learning frame movements in the network. Dear students, table is nothing but in the previous class in switch we have discussed. For example, see here, in this black diagram. So right one, switching table is just a table which will update all the information when there is a data sending and receiving between two computer systems, right? So in this switching table, address and port we are seeing, right? From which port, from which address the data will be sending, and from in which node, means host or computer system, the data will be received. So all those information will be updating. That is called as a learning system or switching table. So that is second point. The forwarding table is automatically forwarding table. It means so which computer system will transmit the data, which computer system will receive the data. All those information will be updated automatically. That is called as switching table or forwarding table, made by learning frame movement. Learning means updating information every time the data of port numbers and port address will be updating in the network. That is called as a forwarding table. So the third criteria is the loops in the system must be prevented. Of course, the loops, there are some problems in the loop. That problems will be prevented in the network. So these are the three criteria will be set by the IEEE protocol, IEEE 802.1g specifications. Now, in the transparent switches, what is forwarding? As I told you, forwarding is nothing but how to send the data from sender computer system to receive computer system. That is called as a forwarding. How to send, how to forward the data or frame, right? A transparent switch most currently forward the frame, right? So dear students, forwarding for example, uh, X is sender, Y is another computer, and Z is receiver. Assume that there are three computers connected, X, Y, and Z. X is sender, Y is intermediate computer, and Z is the receiver. So Y computer, just it will receive the data, whichever the data X wants to send to the Z. So Y just it will receive and forward the same data into the Z receiver computer system. That is called as a forwarding, right? So a transparent switch must currently forward the data frames. Now, what is learning? Learning is nothing but, as I told you, table, switching table. So learning means automatically all the port address and the port numbers will be updating in the table, switching table. That is called as a learning. Is nothing but a table. So what is learning? Let us see. The system administrator would manually enter each table entry during switch setup. So earlier in the networking system, administrator had to manually enter each table entry during switch setup, but now automatically once the number of host computers connected in the local area network or wide area network, so immediately all the information will be updated in the table. So that is called as a learning or table or switching table, right? If a station was added or deleted, the table had to be modified manually. Of course, if any station was added or deleted, removed from the network, so that table had to be modified manually. The same was true if a station media access control address changed, which is not a rare event. For example, putting a new network card means a new MAC address. Of course, if you change any new network card means, so MAC address automatically will be different MAC address, right? So in the same forwarding, a better solution to the static table is a dynamic table that map address to ports or interface automatically. Of course, so static means once any data enters, it will be there permanently. Like in different memory system, read-only memory and random access memory, you have studied in the microcontroller or microprocessor. So read-only memory means permanent storage of the address or permanent storage of the address. It we cannot delete that address. That is called as a static memory or read-only memory. Random access is nothing but dynamic memory, right? So here also static table is permanent table. Once any updation means, for example, port address and port number entered in the table, permanently it will be there. But in the dynamic, that we can erase it, we can delete, or we can create any port address and port numbers. That is called as a dynamic table. Please, students, what's the difference between static table and dynamic table? Static table means once the port address and port number enters, permanently it will be there. User means administrator cannot delete it. But dynamic table, anytime any port address and port number can be deleted. That is called as a dynamic table that maps address to ports, as I told you. That's all. To make a dynamic table, we need a switch that gradually learns from the frames movement. Of course, switch can be added or deleted. So that's why that is called as a dynamic table updation. So if there is a switch, right, so dynamic table will be there, and we can learn from the frames movements gradually. To do this, a switch inspects both the destination and the source address. Of course, you see, port address is nothing but if that host acts as a sender, that is called as a source address. If other computer system acts as a destination, that is called as a destination address. Means receiver is not, receiver will have destination address, sender will have source address. Don't be confused. So this is the difference between source address and destination address. So source address will be there in the sender computer system, destination address will be there in the receiver computer system. The destination address is used for the forwarding decision lookup table, that is table updation. The source address is used for adding entries to the table and for updating purpose. Let us see in the networking. So this is called as a learning switch. A original, that is address and port numbers, right? So in B, after A sends a frame to D, see in the below there are 4 computer systems have connected using a switch: A computer system, B computer system, C computer system and D computer system. So each computers are having specific port address 41, 42, 12 and 13, right? So for example, if A computer wants to send the data to D, right, in the C, after D sends a frame to B, right? So here in C table, only A and D computer information
Sir,
is updated.
sir,
Ravi, uh, see in C table, so A is communicating with D computer system. So A and D means port 1 and port 4 information are updated. In D table, for example, A computer, B computer and D computer are communicated. So it means B computer system, that is port address 2. Just B is forwarding frame from A computer system into D computer system. In E table, there are 4 number of ports: 1, 4, 2, 3. Here 1 is a sender, 4 is a receiver, right? 2 and 3 computer systems are acting as forwarding node or computer system, right? So all these 4 computer systems port numbers and the port address are updated. So this is called as a learning switch. Understood, students? Automatically the port numbers and port address will be keep on updating. That is called as a learning switch. Same. So whatever I have explained in this table with computer systems connection using a switcher, same, this not required. So let us see what is a looping problem in the network using a switcher, right? So transparent switches work fine as long as there are number of redundant switches in the system, right? So what is a redundant switch? Dear students, briefly I will explain you. Redundant switch or link. Redundant link in a switches are accomplished through the use of multiple switches or multiple links between switches. Dear student, redundant switch is nothing but there are number of means several links will be there in each switch. That is called as a redundant switch. Actually, in a switch, two or any number of connections we can give depends on the number of systems. That is called as a redundant switch. Once again I will tell you, redundant links in a switches are accomplished through the use of multiple switches or multiple links between switches. In an enterprises networks, a link is redundant if its presence or absence does not affect the nature of the mechanism of the network. So that is called as a redundant switch. Actually, redundant switch is a 2 cross 1 or 1 cross 2 arrangement. An automated redundancy switching is specifically designed to connect to both the primary and secondary equipment, and there is a failure in the primary equipment, the backup is switched on. For example, redundant switch, I'm telling you once again, number of links will be there for connecting multiple host, means computer systems or laptop or mobile. That is called as a redundant switch. If and redundant switch has both primary and secondary equipment. If in case if primary equipment is failed, automatically the data backup will be there from the secondary switch. That is called as a redundant switch. So depends on redundant switch. What are the problems will be there in the looping? Let us discuss. So systems administrators means network designer. System administrator is nothing but a network developer or network designer, however, like to have redundant switch, more than one switch between a pair of local area network to make the system more reliable. As I told you, if a switch fails, another switch takes over until the failed one is repaired or replaced. Understood. For example, if there is any link or switch is primary or secondary switch is failed, immediately the data backup will be there, or another switch or another switch will be replaced or another switch takes over. Of course, if any switches in the network fail, another switch takes over until the failed one is repaired or replaced. Redundancy can create loops in the system. Of course, redundancy, as I told you, multiple links will be there for depending upon the how many number of computer systems will be connected in the network. That number of links will be there in the redundancy switch, which is very undesirable. Of course, in a switch, if there are 100 links to connect 100 computer systems, definitely there will be some complication or undesirable will be there. Loops can be created only when two or more broadcasting local area networks are connected by more than one switch, of course. So for example, if a switch has 10 links, so all the 10 links will be looping operations, right? That is called as a looping in the networking system. In the block diagram, let us say, for example, here station A sends a frame, station A sends a data to station D. So what will happen in the first block diagram, right? So there are number of switches and A, B, C, E, D and F computers are connected. A, B, C computer systems are connected with local area network 1 and ED and F computers are connected with LAN 2, right? Here two switches are connected with the two local area networks, right? So here first switch is having address and port, and second switch is also having port and address. Dear students, redundancy means here in left hand side 1 and 2, that is number of links. So here also 1 and 2 number of links, because two computers are connecting or two LANs are connecting in each switch. So that's why each switch is having two links. That is called as a redundancy switch, but each switch is having address and port numbers, right? So this is called as a looping. So between switch 1 and switch 2 all the information will be keep on updating, right? So here also in second also both switches forward the frame, right? Next both switches, for example here A, B and C, so this is called as a looping, right? Between switch 1 and switch 2 the data will be keep on repeating, that is called as a looping. And here loop problem in a learning switch, of course learning switch means every time the information, the address and port number will be keep on updating. Dear students, any doubt in the looping?
No, sir. No, sir.
Just you can observe here in this left side in C table, right? Here in LAN 1 A and D, right? So A is sending data to the D computer system from LAN 1 to LAN 2, right? In left hand side switch, so here A computer is sending data to D, so A computer system address. So here it just computer name is there in address, and A is port number to means link switches port address is 2, and here also same information is updating, right? In right hand side also a computer system is sending data to D with LAN 2, right? So a computer system to which link, right? So in the switch link number is 2, that is called as a port number is added. You can see that in C table, in C block diagram both switches forward the frame. In this C, a computer information is entered in switches, in first switch and second switch. Same information will be available in second switch also. So this is called as a looping information, sorry, looping problem, right? In the same switch same information will be available in the switching table. So that is called as a looping problem. So different data will not be available in the different switches. Same information will be available because two different LAN 1 and LAN 2 are connected using switch 1 and switch 2. So this is some problems in the networking. Now let us see next is what is spanning tree algorithm, or spanning algorithm in the same switches only, right? So spanning algorithm or spanning tree means graphical representation of the arrangement of the computer system using a switch. Dear students, in general definition I am telling you, spanning tree algorithm means the graphical representation of the connected computer systems. The graphical representation of the connected computer system using a switch is called as a spanning tree algorithm. That's all. Here the number of nodes will come, arcs will come, links will come, and cast will also come. That will we can see in the block diagram. So a spanning tree is a subset of graph which has all vertices covered with the minimum possible number of edges. That is called as a number of nodes. So that is called as a spanning tree, right? Spanning tree algorithm. Please don't be confused. Spanning algorithm or spanning tree algorithm in a switch means the graphical representation of number of connected computer systems using a switch. That is called as a spanning tree algorithm. So this spanning tree algorithm is needed for solving problems, looping problems in the network. That is called as a spanning algorithm. To solve the looping problem, the IEEE specification requires that the switches uses the spanning tree algorithm to create a loopless topology, right? To see how to solve looping problem in the switch, right? Looping problem is there. How to solve it using spanning tree algorithm? We can solve looping problems in the switches. That is called as a spanning tree algorithm, right? In graph theory, a spanning tree is a graph in which there is no loop. Of course, in spanning tree algorithm, looping will not be there. There is no any repetition of updation of port numbers and port address in the table. That is called as a loopless topology or network technology. So that is called as a spanning algorithm. Dear students, please understand, try to understand. In switches of the network, looping problem will be there. How to solve that looping problem? So by applying spanning tree algorithm, we can solve that looping problem. So that is called as a spanning tree algorithm. So using graph theory, we can solve it without any repetition of the port numbers and port address in the network or in any number of local area. Sorry, students, official call. In a switched local area network, this means creating a topology in which each local area network can be reached from any other local area network through one path to another path without any repetition. That is called as loopless or no loop. So in block diagram, we will see what is spanning tree algorithm. To find the spanning tree, we need to assign a cost. Dear students, cost, arcs, number of nodes, number of links. I told you cost is nothing but a metric. Each and every right arcs or nodes will have cost. That is specific value 1, 2, 3 or 4. That is called as cost. We will see in the block diagram. To each arc, the interpretation of the cost is left up to the system administrator, right? Network designer or system administrator, how he will give the cost specifications or metric for each arc depends on the administrator. So we have chosen minimum number of ops. So ops is between number of computer systems. We will see in the block diagram. The hop count is normally 1 from a switch to the local area network and 0 in the reverse direction, 1 or 0, right? So this is spanning tree algorithm representation. S1 is switch 1, S2, S3, S4 and S5 in first block diagram, right? Networking. So we are seeing there are 5 switches. Each switch is having 2 links Local area network is connected between switch 1 and switch 2. Local area network 2 is connected between switch 1 and switch 4, and switch 3 is connected local area network 2 and 3. Here switch 5 connected local area network 4 and 3, right? This is actual system, right? In graph representation, right? So in spanning tree representation, there is no any repetition as we told. So from switch 1 is forwarding, this is called as a cost value or metric value is represented by 1, right? So cost is transmitting to switch 2 through local area network, right? 1. So once local area network receives this 1, it will be converted into 0, means same information should not be transmitted. If say 1 is transmitted from again local area 1 to S2, it becomes a looping system. So that's why here the hop count is normally in the last sentence. You can observe the hop count is normally 1 from a switch to the local area network and 0 in the reverse direction. Then only the looping will not be there. Same thing here also. For example, in a local area network 3 also. So 3 is transmitting to S3, not 1 or 0 or 2. That's why there is no any looping system, right? So in the graph representation with the cost assigned to each R, looping is not there. Once local area network receives 1, it will retransmit 0 to S1. So this is not a looping system. So using this graphical representation of a spanning tree, so we can avoid looping problem in the switch. So the spanning tree involves 3 steps. Every switch has a built-in ID. Of course, ID is important for each and every switch. Address should be there. Normally, the serial number which is unique. Each and every switch should have unique ID. Right, it will not be common in any switches. It should be unique only. Each switch broadcasts this ID so that all switches know that which one has the smallest ID. The switch with the smallest ID is selected as the root switch. That is root of the tree. We assume that switch S1 has the smallest ID. It is therefore selected as the root switch. Of course, in the previous networking representation, we have seen that switch 1 is the first switch, that is for example S1 only. So H1 is the small ID, that is called as a root switch or initiating switch. Second point, the algorithm means spanning tree algorithm tries to find the shortest path. I will tell you what is shortest path in the block diagram. A path which is the shortest path. For example, dear students, spanning tree algorithm or shortest, how to find the shortest path in the network means, for example, uh, if we want to go from SVC to Majestic, so how do we go? Through Air Force, right? Make a circle, we will reach Majestic. That is one way. For example, one way. Second way, you can assume that. So for the same destination Majestic to go from SVCE. So if you go from SVCE through Chikballapura and like that to Majestic, definitely that is longest path, right? And another route example I will give you. If you want to go from SVCE to Majestic, if you go from Kerpuram, definitely that is also longest path, right? Shortest path means which is the shortest path or minimum distance to travel or to transmit the data. That is called as a shortest path. You understood, no? What is the shortest path means? So which is the minimum distance, less distance to travel or to transmit the data from sender to receiver. That is called as the shortest path, depending on the distance. We will see in the networking representation. I will show in the black diagram, right? So figure 3.1 shows the shortest path, and we have used the spanning tree algorithm, right? The combination of the third step is the combination of the shortest paths create the shortest tree. Means no, number of hours, links, all those things, combination of all those things is called as a shortest tree. We will see in the black diagram. So based on the spanning tree, we mark the ports that are part of it, the forwarding ports which forward a frame that is switch receives. We also mark those parts that are not part of the spanning tree, the blocking ports which block the frame received by the switch. That is in the next black diagram. So what is the blocking ports, I will tell you, right? So here in the first diagram, so how to find the shortest path, the spanning tree in the computer system, right? So for example, if you want to transmit the data from S1 to S5, the shortest path is S1, S4 and S5. So if you go from S1, S2 again, S2, S1 like that, that is the longest path. So we cannot reach it. And also there is no connection. For example, if you transmit the data from S1 to S2 and S2 to S5, right? There is no communication, right? There is a link loss, right? So if there is a link loss, then how to block that? So communication will not be there between S2, S5, or using S1, S2 and S5. There is no communication. So link is not created between S2 and S5. How to avoid this selection of the path? That is called as a blocking, right? And also there is no connection, direct connection between S2 and S3 also, right? Between S2 and S3 also there is no connection. So connection is there from S1 to S2 and from S1 to S3, S1, S4 and S5. There is no connection between S2 and S3, between S2 and S5. So how to block it, right? How to avoid that communication between S2 and S3, S2 and S5? That is called as a blocking. That is called as a blocking or spanning tree algorithm. Forwarding and blocking ports after using spanning tree algorithm, right? So in figure 3.8 we are seeing that blocking concept, because in figure 3.5 3.7, as I told you, there is no link between S2 and S3. So S1 should not transmit the data to S3 from S2, or S1 should not transmit the data from S1 to S5 through S2, right? It should be blocked because there is no link. So that's why that should be blocked. That communication between S3 and S2, S2 and S5 should be blocked. So using spanning tree algorithm, we can forward and blocking ports, right? Here I have mentioned port 2 and port 3 of bridge S3 are blocking ports. No frame is sent out of these ports, right? From S1 to S5 through S3 or S2. There is no any forward of data packets. Yes, for 5 marks or 6 marks, if you get the questions, what are the advantages of the switches? Just a link layer switch has several advantages compared to hub, right? So as I told you, hub can operate in the physical layer, so there will be data collision, right? So how to avoid that data collision in the switches? That is one important applications of the switch. So data collision elimination, a link layer switch eliminates the data collision, means it avoids the data collision in the network, because a switch can operate in both physical layer as well as data link layer, right? This means increasing the average bandwidth available to a host in the network, right? How to increase the bandwidth and all in the network technology, you will see, right? in a switch local area network, there is no need for carrier sensing and data collision direction because each host can transmit at any time. Connecting heterogeneous devices with computer system. A link layer switch can connect devices that use different protocols at physical layer and with different data rates and different data transmission media. As long as the format of the frame at the data link layer doesn't change, a switch can receive a frame from a device that uses twisted pair cable and sends data at 10 Mbps and deliver the frame to another devices that uses fiber optic cable and can receive at 100 Mbps at any different data speed. It can operate means heterogeneous devices can operate as we seen, but only lowest data rates it can consider. So, for example, since data at 10 Mbps, even though heterogeneous system is having 100 pf, it can only with the minimum data rate that is 10 Mbps. This application means a possibility available in the switches, not in the hub.